Good evening, everybody. Welcome to your Michael Carrick press conference reaction show. In tonight's show, we are reacting to Michael Carrick's press conference, Marco Silva's press conference. We're also going to do Mark Skinner's press conference as well. Big up to every single one of you live locked in already this evening. Much appreciated. Now, if you're new to this YouTube channel and you enjoy your Manchester United content, then please make sure you're hitting the subscribe button. And please do make sure you're subscribing to my football channel as well. And please do subscribe to my extra channel, as I just uploaded a vlog of me visiting the old Marks and Spencer store for one last time in my local city centre, because a new one is opening up next week. But I hope you're well. I hope your day's gone good so far. And yeah, people, we're here to do the press conference. But before we get started with the press conference, there is someone I need to put in the bin, people. Let's get it right. Yeah? Because this subscriber, well, so-called subscriber, has been chatting absolute bollocks about myself, Ross the Socks, African King Academy, Vigilante. So we need to tear him a new asshole, people, this person. And obviously I've hidden him as well. So get ready for me to fence, people, because I am absolutely enraged. Let's get it right. And big up to Ross the Stocks and Vigilante. Yeah, make sure you're subscribing to both, because they were the ones who gave me this information, which I appreciate that. So this person is actually teared a new asshole. He's literally been teared a new asshole by Ross the Stocks and Vigilante. Now it's my turn, honestly. Yes, now I hope he's kind of watching, because this is like literally a warning to anyone who wants to get on the wrong side on this channel, because, you know, it will not end well, I tell you. You know, I'm the nicest person in the world, right? I'm a very nice person, but if someone pushes the wrong buttons, then, oh, you will be out here fasting for, say, bash. Now, this person on YouTube, my subscriber, literally on his YouTube channel the other day, he did a video on myself, Ross the Stocks, African King Academy, Vigilante, saying that we only do YouTube for money. No, absolutely not. I do not do YouTube for money. Yeah, I make my money off of gifting out memberships and that. That's the way I make my money. And I do YouTube because I love it. How dare you chat absolute bollocks about myself, saying, oh, you're only doing it for money. You only do YouTube for money, this and that. It's like, get out of here, man. Seriously. What on earth are you talking about? Yeah? You Roman. Absolute disgrace. Yeah? An absolute disgrace. Let's get it right. Yeah? It's like, I even replied to his comments the other day, because I thought he was like literally a genuine guy. And then he literally has the audacity to remove the video he did chatting absolute bollocks about myself, Ross the Stocks, African King Academy, and Vigilante. But hey, I got it all in 4K because I seen screenshots. So yeah, I have evidence. I really do. So, Matthew Pullman, yeah, you are a Roman and you can get in the bin. Seriously, fuck off. Yeah? Leave the Fellowship of the Realist alone. And you, Matthew Pullman, you have been calling out one of the biggest YouTubers out there and you will earn yourself a 10-hour cooking session. You carry on going the way you're going. Seriously. Absolutely, nah, get in the bin, man. Seriously. So you, Matthew Pullman, double wooden thing for you, yeah? Absolute disgrace, yeah? Like, get out of here, man. Now, this should be a message to anyone watching, like, any of my community. If any of my community start chatting shit about me, you're out here fast, of course, say, but. It's as simple as that, yeah? Let's get it right, because it's nowhere near sustainable whatsoever. Now, Matthew Pullman, I hope he's watching this, because do not get on the wrong side of the fellowship and the realist, honestly. I mean, roster socks absolutely put you in the bin on his stand spot string. Vigilante on his gaming channel, he put you in the bin. Now I'm putting you in the bin tonight, honestly. Just how dare you? Yeah, you have absolute no right whatsoever to make such false information up about me. Yeah, it's like, fuck off. Seriously, just get the fuck out of here. Yeah, running. Now, I said my piece, and I'm happy to leave it at that. Anyway, big up to every single one of you who is live and locked in already this evening. Much appreciated. So, very shortly, we will be getting on to the press conference. We're going to start off with Micheal Carrick first, and then we're going to do Marco Silva, and then we are going to do Mark Skinner as well. His press conference reaction for the Liverpool women's game, Manchester United women against Liverpool. We'll be doing that as well. So, yeah, people, I just had to get that off my chest, because I really do not appreciate, a member of this community chatting absolute bollocks about me and my subs. It's not on. It's not sustainable. It should not be allowed, which is why, he is not welcome on the Mr. Joshy J army. He really isn't at the end of the day. I mean, oh my goodness sake. Yeah, a bit of answer in the line chat, Mr. Joshy J community. I enjoy the line chat. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But yeah, I just needed to get that off my chest. I really did. It's like, yeah, nah, I couldn't believe it. When Vigilante messaged me on Instagram and told me about it, I was just, oh, I just shell shocks, absolutely shell shocks. But it's like an absolute disgrace, honestly. Just like I said, this is a message to all my community. Want to chat shit about me, false information? I don't care if you've been here from day one. You'll be out here fast. So you say, but, bosh. It's as simple as that, because that's how we roll on the Mr. Joshy J YouTube channel. We are one of the most politest and friendliest communities on here. Let's get it right. As Ross the Stocks would say, community settings, people, yeah? Let's get it right. But, yeah, just crazy, crazy work, honestly. But let's get on to Michael Carrick's press conference reaction now, people. Now, if you're new to these press conference reaction shows, what I do is I play the press conference on my personal phone in the background. I don't show the footage. I don't share the footage on screen. All I do is just audio only. And what I do is I may stop it halfway through if I need to call out any PR, or if anything interesting has been mentioned. But let's see what Michael Carrick has been saying, people. Let's get to the press conference now.
Just starting off with some team news. First of all, can you explain maybe how long Patrick Dorgu could be out, and are there any other players coming back, like Joshua Zirkzee on the ties to that?
Yeah, Josh is back training this week, which is good news. Obviously, first time, so he's been out for a short amount of time, but first kind of training with us since we've been here, so that's great to have Josh back. Pat, unfortunately, he's going to be out for a period of time. We're still working through that, how long that's going to be, but so we'll have to see. Disappointing. He's had such a big couple of weeks, Pat. So we weren't sure whether it was a little bit of cramp or whether it was something a little bit more serious. And at the moment, it looks a little bit more on the serious note. So it'll be a few weeks for that. How many weeks we'll have to wait and see. But so that's disappointing for all of us really, and for Pat. It's he's in such a good place, but unfortunately, it is.
Yeah, hammer blow. I mean, Patrick Dorgu was playing so well, wasn't he, people? I mean, let's get it right.
Football, and it's something we've got to work through and get him back as soon as we can.
And just on delay, is he still a few
weeks away? He's not training with us yet, so just working through the process really of getting him back as soon as we can.
Michael, when you look across the sort of last year or so for United, I know you've not been here that entire time, but you've watched a lot of the team. A consistent theme has been the struggle to win games consistently at Old Trafford. Do you know why that is?
I think ultimately consistency is the key to success, and I think it's...
Absolutely. And Manchester United recently, over the years, have been so inconsistent. What we need to do is we need to try and rectify it as soon as possible, really. Go on a consistent run. That's what I want to see. That's what I expect from Manchester United at the end of the day. That's what I expect from my football club of people.
It's in my eyes, it's one of the most difficult things to achieve, to be good consistently rather. So yeah, it takes so much. It takes a level of performance, it takes a level of mentality and the intensity and the concentration.
And it depends what mindset these players are in, because we know these players, they can play good, and other times they can be absolutely useless. So again, that needs to come into account and consideration.
Actually be able to cope emotionally with the ups and downs of what each game brings and moving on to the next. So there's so many things and that kind of go into it. And listen, that's what we're working towards. We've had...
I mean, injuries happen in football, it's parts and parcel of football, unfortunately. And to be honest, we've been quite lucky recently not to get injuries, because I can remember a couple of years ago, we were getting so many injuries, honestly. I mean, absolutely just unbelievable, man. It was crazy work, the amount of injuries we were getting. But now I think we changed our physio staff and, things are going much better. Because look at Mason Mount, even he is staying fit longer, isn't he? So just goes to show you have a more efficient physio staff, then it's like players would more than likely stay fitter for longer without getting injured, really. So, yeah, whilst it's unfortunate Dorgu's been injured and that got himself injured and out for about 10 weeks, it just goes to show the physio staff we have now is working, because the players are definitely getting less injured now than what they were a couple of years ago. So in certain aspects, people, I say that's a real positive.
A great couple of weeks, 2 big results. There's bigger games coming up, and it's just keeping the mind in the right place as much as the emotions to be able to go on to the next game just as we have done at the previous 2.
I interviewed Lisandro Martinez yesterday, and it goes in line with what you were just saying there as well. He said that you touched his heart, and that meant that he'd give you everything. I wonder how much work you've been doing in this short time, capturing hearts and minds, as well as giving tactical detail as well.
Yeah, you've got to play with feeling. You've got to play with emotion. You've got to play with excitement. And so there's definitely that side of things, and it's something we speak about. The technical side. The technical side's one thing, but the things I've just touched on is totally something else. And the boys have been there, you know, in training and in games and in meetings and everything around the place. They've been there and everything we've asked of them. And Leach has epitomised that in terms of how he's gone about every day and certainly in the game. So, but we're definitely aware that of what it's taken to have the couple of weeks we've had. A couple of weeks is a couple of weeks, you know. It's good, but it's 2 weeks, and we're definitely aware that it's something we want to and we need to make extend for longer. So, respecting the game, respecting what it takes to win games and how hard it is and how good a team Fulham are. That's definitely on the front of our minds. Thank you.
I mean, Fulham, you know, I wouldn't underestimate them. You know, that could be quite a tricky opponent for us. And, you know, they're having a decent season. Yes, they had a bit of a shaky spell. Where's the Spoons at? Go back to about, what? I started around about 2 minutes into the stream, F1 Fans CSC 1905. So he watched that on playback, you know, because I have game out the Spoons. So, yep. But big up to you, mate. Good evening. Thank you for joining me this evening. Much appreciated. Journalists ask stupid questions in press conference. Please ask some proper questions around the game. Absolutely. Do you see City beating Spurs or in a relegation battle? Big up to you, the Irish Pinter. Bosh. Big up, mate. Good evening. Thank you for joining me this evening, mate. Much appreciated. But yeah, you know, let's continue, people.
Hi, Michael. Returning to Patrick for a moment. It's been reported it could be 10 weeks. Are you confident you've got such a versatile player, the depth to cope with that?
Yeah, listen, obviously it's not ideal. It's not ideal. Of course it's not. We don't want to lose good players from the group, but that's part of having a squad and assembling a squad to be able to cover certain things, and we've got players that can do that. Yeah, it's the nature of the beast, unfortunately.
It will naturally someone wonder if you're going to move in the transfer market before the deadline. Do you see any movement incoming before Monday?
To be honest, I think we're just working through it. Never say never, of course, because a lot can happen and situations can be thrown up. So,
nah, we're not going to sign anyone, people. We're really not.
Sometimes it's in our control. Sometimes it's maybe something that's out of our control that we got to deal with. So, you know, we're calm. I'm pretty calm. I think we've got and we've shown what we're capable of doing as a team. And we'll just have to see what the next few days bring. But I'm definitely calm about it.
Michael, the general consensus has been that if anybody did come in, then somebody would go out. And you mentioned Josh before. He's the one who persistently gets linked with moves to Italy. Have you spoken to him about his future, or has he articulated what his desire for this window is?
No, I think Josh has just been trying to work to get fit and get back around the group, and it's been great to have him back training yesterday with the group for the first time. That's literally as far as it goes for me and for Josh. You know, I'm looking forward to working with him. So that's it. Nothing else is needed to be said.
Sarah? Hi, Michael. Bruno signed for the club 6 years ago today. Obviously, everyone knows what a massive impact he's had. I'm just wondering if you could explain a bit about what you found working with him. And also, every summer now, his future gets thrown into doubt. Obviously, you made comments again recently about the club wanting him to leave. Do you feel like he needs to see evidence of progress over the next few months to commit to staying on again? Because obviously, for a player of his ability, he's not one enough, has he, at this club?
I think, first of all, I've seen the impact he had as soon as he got here. You know, I was obviously here, so I've seen it at close quarters, and he had a huge impact straight away in so many ways. You know, you could see the passion, you could see how much he wanted to do well. Straight away, you've seen the quality, and that's carried on all the way through. And his consistency, really, of performances, his level of performances, his willingness to always put himself out there and physically be able to do it. You know, I think there's a lot to credit him for in that respect. listen, of course, we all want to win things. We all want to get better. We want to improve as a team. We want to be successful, and that's something we've got to work towards together. But Bruno's been fantastic since I've been here. He was fantastic when I was here before, so I've got nothing but good things to say about him.
Hi Michael, just on the subject of Bruno's future then, I mean, A, have you talked to him about it, and B, I mean, would you expect him to be here next year, or do you feel it needs Champions League football?
I think let's not get too far ahead, we're working towards this game, and he's talking about the window now and closing in a few days. That's on the agenda a little bit, but my main agenda is getting through the game on Sunday with Fulham, and Bruno's fully committed.
Absolutely. Yeah, that should be the number one priority, Michael Carrick.
No issues at all. Things further down the line, obviously, addressed towards the end of the season or whatever, but everything's positive at the moment. There's no reason to be any otherwise.
Hi, Michael. Just on the Fulham game, an issue that's kind of predated some of the previous managers is United sometimes struggling to break down teams who come to Old Trafford and are happy to sit a little bit deeper. Obviously, that's not the way that City and Arsenal play. Does the messaging or the game plan change at all when you've got a team like Fulham coming in? And you also mentioned after the City game that you're not always going to have the big emotions like a derby brings up, and sometimes the players are going to have to do that themselves. Is Fulham kind of an example of that?
Yeah, I don't think we need to make too much of it, to be honest. I think we are where we are. I think the feeling around the group, around the squad, and the results that we've had, the performances, and going into the next game, I don't think the past is too relevant in that respect. You understand it and what's worked before and what hasn't, but really it's I think the boys are in a good place going into the game. Tough game, really tough challenge. I think Fulham, Marco's got them really into a really good team, so it's I think this one of all of a sudden it's a different game. It's Fulham, and just because we're at home, taking anything for granted is bang out of order, really. So it might be a case it's the same flow of the game as what we've had the last 2 weeks. No shame in that. We'll deal with the game, what's in front of us, and do whatever it takes for us to be able to come out on top.
Hi, Michael. I just wanted to ask about Mason. He was becoming a crucial player. Well, he was a crucial player under Ruben Amorim, but he's played just a few minutes under you and obviously didn't get on Sunday. How has he reacted to that? And also, how do you see his role until the summer?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Mason. I think he's...
Yeah, he does. He looks a lot more happier, yeah. But let's just wait and see what happens.
So many good things to like about him. He's quality to start with, his attitude, his personality. That's why we've got the squad. Certain times, certain games, certain players will play, and as we work through the season, that'll come into fruition. But yeah, I like Mason a lot, and I think he's an important player for this team and this club.
Okay, that's the end of Michael Carrick's press conference. Now, not much really to call out on that one, to be honest. I thought it was quite a professional press conference. Marco Silva. Let's have a listen to what Marco Silva has to say.
Big news today about Oscar Bobbart. Can I just start with the squad news, and is Kenny Tete ready to come back?
Yes, as you know, we're going to have another session before the game, but so far Kenny is working completely, involving everything that we need for the game. After last week, where he was 67% completely involved, this week he's being completely fit from himself. He's going to be in contention to the game. Rodrigo is around the team already in some drills with the team. This week probably is going to be too soon. Probably next week we're going to have good news about him as well. And so far, let's hope can continue in the same way. All the other players are going to be available for the game.
How's Chukwueze? Will he have compassionate leave?
Chukwueze is going to have everything what he needs in this moment, and simple as that. He's going if he needs 1 day, 2 days, 1 week, he's going to have, depending really from him. how he feels, what is going to be the better place for him to be. Right now, completely support for myself, individual point of view, for the club as well. And it's going to be his decision much more than everything. What he needs from us, we are here to support him.
And you've made
Big up, Connor. Good evening, mate. Thank you for joining me this evening, mate. Much appreciated.
signing, Oscar Bob. How pleased to get someone through the door before deadline day?
I'm very pleased, definitely. Very pleased because I think it's a very, very good move from ourselves.
Of course, Oscar Bob has came from Manchester City, so yeah, it's an interesting signing for Fulham.
We as a football club, since Adama left the club, or was coming close to leave the club, of course, we have some. I have some players in my mind, and we as a club, we have some players as a targets. Oscar was one of them for sure. He's a clear replacement for the player that we left the football club. That was Adama, and we signed Oscar, and he's a great move from us. Very talented player, quality, individual quality as well. Needs more consistent in the game time. He has to come here to show himself and to help the team.
I know, Connor. It's a real shame because, you know, that one's been there for so many years, literally all my lifetime. But I'm looking forward to the new one, though, mate. I really am. It should be good.
Like the other four players, they are helping ourselves so far, and it's going to be great for us to have another individual point of view, good player in around that forward positions, can play on the right, like Adama, can play inside, behind the striker as well. He's a player that can play in tight spaces between the lines. He's very good. Now it's a matter of us to work with him, to put him in the best physical condition he can be, because I'm sure that he's going to be a very good signer for the football club. And of course, I have to congratulate the club and the board for the move, and to be able to sign a player and to react from the player that left the football club like Adama, to react in a way to replace him with, in my opinion, a very, very talented player like Oscar Bob.
And a 5.5-year deal, does that encourage you that the club are committed and are planning long term as well?
No chance. If you are going to spend the money we did in a player like Oscar, a young player like him that is going to help us until the end of the season in this short period, and of course for the future is going to be in the World Cup. Of course we have to put it in a long-term project for him, because he's signed a very young forward player right now that already with some experience, not in a consistent way. Okay, some spell games in some games or spell moments in Man City shirt, but national team already a starting 11 playing the national.
I remember when they changed the shops in my city, I was crying into my Percy as I left the store. Yeah, I get that. You know, it's quite emotional. Like, I felt quite emotional going into there.
Team is going to be in World Cup. Is a player that we truly believe that was a great move from ourselves. Of course, show the quality, and at the same time we have to fresh the things a little bit. Of course, one player like Adama left our football club already around 29, 30 years old. We are able to make a move like this one for a younger player in that position. Show that what we want to do for the present, but for the future too.
And for this window, do you think that's enough, or do you think there will be more signs? You've been with the striker, midfielders.
Let's see, it's difficult. I cannot guarantee 100% to you that nothing is going to happen until the end of the window, because until that moment, everything can happen, because the clubs are moving. We are moving as well. We are analyzing things. Not 100% sure that is going to happen something or is not going to happen. Let's see what is going to be in the next few days, few hours as well, because it's not the main focus for me right now. The focus is clear completely in preparing the next game. The board is doing their part as well. If comes someone to help us and to be the right guy, perfect, and we are very pleased with it. If not, we are going to close the door or the window in this case, and we move on until the end of the season with a great group of lads that have been doing their maximum to help the team and to be able to achieve the results we needed. Let's see what's going to happen.
You've been linked, or have been linked with Raheem Sterling. He's now a free agent.
I mean, Raheem Sterling, I mean, how many football clubs has he had? I mean, he's had more football clubs than the golfer, Tiger Woods. I mean, let's get it right. I've lost count now how many football clubs he's had.
Anything in that? Or
No. I'm not going to speak about any player that they are not other players or individual players. I can speak about our players. All the other things, comments about speculation, rumors, or players that are linked with us. I'm not going to make any comments.
How do you find deadline day?
For me, it's a normal day. Believe me, I know that is something that is a little bit special in England. I know that the people love that day and all that stuff. Probably more the 31st, August 31st, and January 31st, or it's going to be on Monday. It's not going to be the 31st. But to be honest, for me, it's a normal day. The way myself with the board or our staff, myself,
I have to say, like, this January window, in my personal opinion, has been quite poor, I think. There seems to be more managerial departures than players coming in. I mean, crazy work.
Everything with the board, everything is so clear from, as I told you, we were completely aligned from last end of November.
That'd be an interesting game down outsourcing 100% that will.
When we start to look ahead, when we start to see that some injuries that can have an impact in our season, we talk and we're completely in the same page. We are completely aligned about it. The last.
I agree. You know, he's got to go, Connor. He's not good enough.
Days are going to be the last few days for me as a manager. Like the last 31st, August 31st, was a completely calm day for me. Really, believe me, because my job was done in that moment. Nothing to do with that. It's probably can be a little bit more a tricky one for the people that is in charge of negotiations for there. But for me, it's going to be a normal day.
And some people have maybe put two and two together with your contract being up and said, well, maybe Marco's waiting to see what happens in January as to whether he signs on. Is there any truth in that? Does this encourage you?
Not at all. After so many years in one football club and the fifth season here with so many good things and moments that we share together, everything, personally not going to be the smartest thing from myself. It's not my way.
Oh, big up to Vigilante for the raid. Big up Vigilante. Bash. Make sure you are subscribing to Vigilante, people. Much love, people. Yeah. Welcome in, Raiders. Big up to you all. Big up, Wahaha. Good evening, mate. Thank you. Join me this evening, mate. Much appreciated. AJ in the building. Newcastle will beat us tomorrow because we sent monopoly money on the attack in the summer. Only good thing we did is sign words and beautiful Egatike. I agree. Yeah, but make sure you are subscribing to Wahaha, people. Make sure you are subbing to Vigilante as well.
To deal with it as well. It's not going to be the clever thing for me. It's going to be, and it's not going to be fair to judge everything and to start to judge about some important things and really crucial things about future and something like that because one window or what's happening in one window or not. Not at all. We are completely, as I said, we're completely in line.
And twice it's happened now, I think.
In everything that was necessary for this window. Sometimes it's possible to do, other times not possible to do. Let's see what's going to happen until the end of the window. So far, I should say that the club is moved for Oscar Bob, replacing for a winger that I thought our club was very, very good, and I have to say that they did very well.
And finally, for me, Chukwueze, are the wheels in motion to make his deal permanent?
We have time.
Yep, big up to AJ. Big up to all your legends in the building. Big up Vigilante. Bash. Big up, mate. Cheers to the raid. Much appreciated. How Mr. Joshua J gets 1,400 subscribers. Absolutely. We are currently, let's have a look now. We are currently 4 away. We're 4 away, people. We're on 1,396. 4 subs away from 1,400. That's absolutely incredible. Amazing stuff. Really is.
Talk about it. I think the option is there. Is depending from ourselves. We all are very pleased with him. His integration in our football club.
Oh, big up, Wahaha. Thank you very much for your $2 super chat. Much appreciated. Oh, big up, man, for that. It's Carrick, you know. Oh, get some love in there. Wahaha.
His adaptation is being very good for the Premier League, and demanding as well is
Euros. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, that's right, Euros. But yeah, thanks anyway, mate. Much appreciated.
Good, and so far, as I repeat again, the first 4 or 5 months, we are not able to work with him. I think 2 months in a row. He's being.
Yeah, I know. He really didn't have to do that, Connor, because I never force a super chance, but I do appreciate it. If you wish to donate, then that's fine by me. You know, it's you do great. If not, then I'm not bothered one bit. But you know, always grateful for the support.
In and out with the small injury in the first moments that he came, and after in and out every single month in the national team, losing almost 10 days in every single month. Last December and January, almost 45 days out of the football club as well. Even so, he's being able to show in moments his quality, to have impact in the games, to help us to get to the results. I'm very pleased. He's a great lad. He's a nice boy, really.
I have to say, Marco Silva, people, has done a very solid job at Fulham. I know they went on a bit of a bad spell, but recently they've got back on track again.
Create a good environment. He's adapting for what we need. He's adapting for the Premier League demands. As quality, that's the most important thing. And we are going to have time to do it. But of course, ourselves, myself as a manager, ourselves as a football club, the fans, they have the same feeling for sure, and they share the same feelings with us. We are very pleased to have you know that. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Hi, Marco. Hi. Talk about Manchester United, who last.
Here we go. Now finally talking about us.
Couple of games have looked a very different team. First of all, what are your impressions of them? Do you think we're just seeing a new manager bounce, or are we seeing a squad, a team that's maybe been unlocked and is showing perhaps more of the potential of what it's capable of than it has so far this season?
I cannot answer to you. Sorry, I don't have the right answer.
I like that. Very sensible. It sounds that Marco Silva has no interest in answering that journalist who wants to ask that sort of question. I like that. I wish other managers would do that. Big up to Marco Silva for that.
For it, one season is not is a long marathon. Is not small number of games. The impact of Micheal is being there, clear. 2 big wins for them. Different type of performance, but two good performance as well. Football is everything about consistency as well. Is for sure what he's looking for. Like I'm looking for any manager or the previous manager that was there. That was Ruben was trying to get as well some consistency in terms of performance and results, because football and Premier League is so difficult. That is the most difficult thing to achieve, and for sure they are going to they are looking for it, like we are looking forward for a good result again. Playing against Man United home or away, they are always special and difficult games at Old Trafford. Probably more. The environment for sure is going to be great, and we like this type of challenge. It's going to be a great test for ourselves, and to test ourselves in this type of places and against the sides that they are full of motivation is going to be a great one for us.
Yeah, I know. Honestly, yeah, he's out of here, Fazio Girl. You say, but, well, haha.
And we face it. We go there to really to match it and to do our best to get a good result. Understanding all the noise around and the reaction from them, but all this comments and analysis is not for me to do it.
But just in terms of you'll have analysed them over the last couple of games, of course you played them earlier in the season. Do you think they're, in terms of the way they've been playing, do they look at a different team? You're preparing for a different team than the one that you faced earlier?
I'm preparing for the team that I'm going to.
I have 2 channels. I subscribe to you at Mr. Joshua J with both my channels. Oh, thank you, Quadra. I appreciate that, mate. Big up to you for that, yeah? Much love for that, mate. Free to go now, people, until 1,400. We're 3 away. Come on, let's go.
I'm not going to compare something, because if I have to compare, I have to go back with 3 years ago or 4 years ago as well, and it's going to be to talk about different management, and I'm not going to be in that direction. We are going to face a Man United, not the manager A, B, C, or D. We respect and we understand the question, but the analysis about Man United is not for me.
There's only a few points between that Manchester United in 4th, and you're not far behind them now. It's very tight and they go for European places. Your strength has got what players in now. What do you think is going to be the difference between now, or make the difference between now and the end of the season for those teams challenging for those places?
Premier League is being very, very competitive. I think last season was very, very competitive. This season is being more, and when everybody expected probably not so easy to have another one with the same level of competitiveness and all that stuff. This one is being, you get 2-3 good results and you are in a great position on the table and you look for it, wow. But if you are not on the top of your game in 2-3 games, you go down straight away, and you are going to be probably in positions that they are not so nice. But you have to look for all the picture. Of course, if you are there, because the way you bounce back from last November, beginning of November, is being incredible. Of course, the way we have been reacting, and if you see the number of points we have been achieving from that moment, of course, as I told you, season is
much appreciated, AJ. Big up to you, mate. Thanks for that. Make sure you are sharing the stream, people, because it does help get it out in the algorithm. Make sure you are liking as well.
Marathon, I cannot just talk about the last 2 months or 2 months and a half. Is much more than that. We had some tough and down moments as well. They are part of a Premier League journey, but the reaction is being incredible with some difficult moments in terms of solutions. The team is reacting in an incredible way. And if you look back for the last 8 games, for sure, in terms of points, the position that you can be is there on the top, really, in the teams with more points achieved, and that is a great thing for us. What is going to be the position in 3 weeks' time, 4 weeks' time, or a month, or in the end of the season? Impossible to predict. Not difficult. We go game by game, really. You go for the next one with full motivation, understand the challenge that is ahead of us. If Man United is 4 points above ourselves, or 1 point, or 10 points, is not going to have any impact in the game. It's going to have impact the quality of Man United. What is going to be our quality in the game as well, knowing that we play away from home, but it's going to be the 4th year that we have been playing against them, and we changed completely how competitive this football club is being there, the results as well. And that is a big thing for us. The way we've been changing completely our behavior, our quality there. Even games that we didn't achieve a good result or probably what we deserved, the game was always very competitive, and is what we want to send next Sunday.
And just looking back, you talked about how competitive the Premier League is at the moment, and just looking back at recent results, how many games have been decided stoppage time or last 10 minutes or something like that? Have you noticed that more, that the games are still in the balance and really tight going towards the end, and how important is it that those players just not just 90 minutes, often 95 minutes?
Crucial. And what the last month and a half for us is a good example. So many games that we did decide in the last minutes, and some great results and great wins for us, the same way that we lost against Leeds 2 weeks ago in the last minute as well. And come the fatigue, the tiredness, things that changes from the bench. Everybody has to be in the same page. Everybody has to be home. The players that they come in, that they have to be in conditions to have an impact and to decide games. And of course, the opposition is trying to do the same. And because the games are so tight and so competitive, sometimes the small margins, 1 goal in the end or something can decide. And because that is so difficult and so demanding Premier League.
That is the end of Marco Silva's press conference, people. So, going into the game on Sunday, look, I just want Manchester United to win the game. I want us to be consistent, because the problem is with Manchester United, one weakness they have is consistency. Recently, Manchester United, they seem to beat the teams who I expect us to lose to, but then they either draw or lose the teams I expect us to beat. So it just goes to show that there's no consistency with this team. And, you know, they are very erratic and inconsistent. And we got to rectify that. We really have. You know, it's not even anywhere near close to being anywhere near sustainable how inconsistent Manchester United are at times. It really isn't. We're on the 11 likes. Bash! We've hit the target at 10 likes, people. So big up to every single one of you who's just likes that for me. Much appreciated. Now, you know, Manchester United, Dorgu is out injured, which is a huge blow, but thankfully we got quite a few players who can fulfill that position. So we shouldn't be too light at the moment, because we do have players who can play in Dorgu's position. Dorgu as a wing back, it just didn't work out, but since Carrick put him on the wing, you know, he's been absolutely amazing, and I'm gutted he's out injured. I really am. Amarin was sabotaging. He was, with his stubborn system, what never was going to work out. Oh, haha. I mean, let's get it right, you know. Never in a million years was it going to work out. But yet he carried on sticking with the system, believed in it, but it never works out. I knew the system was going to be a disaster, but he was too stubborn to admit it, unfortunately. And he was a bully as well, Wahaha, towards Kobe Mainoo. That's what I did not like about Ruben Amorim as well, the way he was bullying Kobe Mainoo. Because look what's happened since Kobe Mainoo's been back in the lineup. He's been playing very well, hasn't he? So, yeah. He went 4-2-3-1 against Newcastle when he expected it to fail. Yeah, absolutely wrong then. So that's why I'm glad he's out this Hobble Club Wahaha. Absolute fraud of a manager, honestly. Just way out his depth, very stubborn. Just, he annoyed the shit out of me, mate. He really did. And tried to ruin it after half time. Absolutely, yeah, I agree, 100%. Completely agree with you, Wahaha. So, in a few moments' time, we will be reacting to Mark Skinner's press conference, because he's done a press conference in the Liverpool women's game. Now, Liverpool women have been quite poor in the WSL this season, but I think they won last weekend. It didn't stay in the WSL, so that might give them a bit of a confidence booster, but hopefully the Manchester United women can get a job done against Liverpool. Who do you think will be the next on your sacks? I reckon it'd be Slots could be sacked next, or bollocks. Say, who else? Thomas Frank, yep. Exactly, Wahaha. Thomas Frank, yep. I reckon he'll get the sack next, 100%. You know, it's not going to plan for him at Tottenham, is it, at all? I mean, let's get it right. But yes, like Tottenham, I still cannot believe we lost to them last season. Oh, that makes me so mad we lost to Tottenham. Oh. Oliver Glasner, well, he is leaving at the end of the season, but the way Crystal Palace are going, wouldn't rule him out getting sacked before the end of the season. Absolutely not. And anyway, let's have a listen to what Mark Skinner's had to say. We play Spurs. I think it's after the Fulham game, day night sorting.
Morning, Mark.
Morning, how you doing?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Good, mate, good.
Good. I just want to start with team news, as always. Any updates, any injury updates?
Yeah, so Leah will still be out. No return date yet.
Yeah, I think it's quite an early kickoff, isn't it? Like a lunchtime kickoff. Big up to you, Brian CFC. Bosh, big up, mate. Good evening. Thank you for joining me this evening, mate. Much appreciated.
With her, so she's still working along with a back issue. And then Tooney's still out, working along nicely. Hope.
Yep, absolutely. Big up to you as well, my geezer.
Hopefully, so Gabby's been training this week with the team, so hopefully could.
Shame Adatina is so injured because I'm missing her, I'm missing her creative side, because she definitely makes a difference in this Manchester United women's team, Adatina.
Could appear on the bench should she get through the next day or two. And then Frido's back training as well. So apart from that, everyone else is available.
Nice one. And then, obviously Liverpool on the weekend.
Spurs have been awful. If Manchester United can't beat awful Spurs, teams are in a relegation battle. So, yep. Big up my people. Big up Brian CFC.
And it's been a busy transfer window for them. So I actually asked this question to Martin Home the other week, but it feels like it's probably quite a different Liverpool team to the one that we saw just before Christmas. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely. Look, this is a totally different team. I think what Gaz wanted to add was mobility in his front line to be able to press. You could see against Tottenham they were pressing all over the place. And I think that is probably the identity he wants and is wanted from the start. I think, that you could see the players were galvanised by those signings. And, look, it'll be a tough challenge there. Aggressive with the press. And, I still think there are ways that you can hurt them. And we've got to zone in on those. But, they're a totally different team where I expect that full energy coming at us on the weekend.
The energy, guys. The energy. Title is over for Chelsea women. Manchester City women won the title. Yeah, it's just, even if you beat them this weekend today night sorting, you're still a long way behind them.
Just finally for me, obviously the transfer deadline is Tuesday. Can we expect anything else to happen at Manchester United?
Probably not. I think the women's team have done their business now during the window, but never say never.
Obviously, we're still looking at even if it's now or the summer window, we'll continue to try and develop the squad. But right now, there's nobody that's imminent, and I'm really happy with the work that we've done as a collective in this window. But we're still working, as I say, towards summer targets as well. So unless there's a miracle, probably not in this moment.
Try and not make it a late one for us this year.
Well, you know what we like. We either do it really early or really late. So, hopefully we've done it really early for you this time. But no, we'll wait and see. But right now we're in a space where nobody's imminently coming in.
Nice one. Thanks, Mark.
Thank you, Have a great day.
Okay, we'll go for Dan next.
Morning, Mark.
Good morning, Dan. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, good, thanks.
Good stuff.
Just for Liverpool kind of being an evolving team, if you like, and, obviously they brought in players at different points in the window. The forward line is probably changing quite a...
I don't think we'll sign anyone else down sorting, I think, that's us done now for this transfer window, to be honest.
Is that difficult to kind of predict what they're going to do and how they're going to line up?
Yeah, it is. It is. I think what you have to do, though, Dan, is you have to predict all of their possibilities. So I think that's the a manager and a coaching team's prerogative now. You have to prep for that. I think that looking at the weekend, it's probably a little bit more predictable as to how they might go. But obviously, Martha didn't play. Martha could come back into that lineup. I think that regardless, whatever players he...
Yeah, I know it's been rubbish, hasn't it, Danny? It sort of seemed, to me, there's been more managerial departures than players coming in.
Hicks will have energy to press, and you can see that's part of it.
It's because we got rid of that ruled in Brian CFC, you know, that boring manager who played 5 in the back. And he's a bully towards Kobe Mainu, so yeah, criminal way he wasn't playing him.
Identity they wanted to have, so we've got to be able to play through that and mix our style at times. But really, in all honesty, take them as the threat they pose. Like they're 2 clean sheets in the last 2 games, and obviously they've just picked up their first 3 points. So against a team that's, you know, in that pack trying to chase. So it's a warning shot, and we need to be ready in order to deliver the best of our ability.
I just want to speak about clean sheets for your side, really. Obviously, the games and the competition was quite intense going into Christmas and difficult to get clean sheets. Obviously, since then, I think you've had 3 and 4. So how pleased have you been with kind of the defensive work that the team's done since the break?
Yeah, I mean, in all honesty, we were a bit gutted it wasn't 4 against Villa. We felt that was a mistake from us, really, as a team, allowing them to get that chance. But yeah, look, we pride ourselves on that, Dan. I don't think a modern team... There's been a lot in press recently. I've been watching it. It's quite interesting around coaches taking away creativity for defensive structure. And I don't think that's the case. I just think the game is becoming more physical. So we still try and create that. I mean, you see...
Yeah, I enjoy watching the women's football. You know, I think it's definitely getting better. 100%, you know. Some of the skills players have got is absolutely unbelievable. Yeah, it's not sustainable, daylight sort of thing, you know, unacceptable.
For Jess Park's goal, it's creation in perfect fluid movement. So for us, I just think it's about being structured because teams can hurt. You know, Liverpool the weekend can score goals. What I'd like to see is that continued structure. It gives us that platform to build from, Dan. It gives you stability. And that's what clean sheets do for you. I'll remain this. Clean sheets can win you titles and win you trophies. So for us, I think it's a mainstay, but it won't take away from the creativity we give the players.
That's brilliant. Thanks for that, Mark. Best of luck.
Thank you, mate. Have a great day.
Thank you very much for that. We'll go to Tom next.
Good
morning,
Tom.
Tom.
Nice to see you.
Thank you, mate.
Just thinking about the table, you know, if results went in certain ways.
I've noticed Mark Skinner definitely likes to say mate a lot, doesn't he?
This weekend.
So I'm just reading through the comments, you know, someone picks it up in the comments section as well on the Man United Women's channel that he says mates quite a bit.
You could be second by the end of the weekend with Arsenal not playing as well. Just wondering how you assess the kind of the Champions League race at the moment with appreciating City have got a big lead, but
yeah,
the rest.
How would you feel Manchester United owners keep getting out PR nonsense transfer news? How would you feel? Seaman, mate, human, turn him a new asshole.
You in quite a large amount as well, quite close together. Just wanting your thoughts on that race for Europe.
Yeah, it's slightly strange as well, Tom, because I'm looking at the bottom end as well, and I'm looking at some really tight gaps there. So, yeah, I think it's gone into those phases. You know, City are obviously out at the minute, and if they win the weekend, there's a lot of, for them to lose it from there would be they'd be devastated, I'm sure. But I think for us to be in that pack and into the European kind of,
I mean, obviously we're not going to win the WSL, but you know we could still win the Women's League Cup, which obviously I'm going to that game at Ashton Gate, going to watch it. Looking forward to that.
Knockout rounds and into a League Cup final. I think just shows the growth we've had, and I welcome the challenge of that, Tom. Like for us, it's, you know, we're playing against the European champions. We're playing against Chelsea, who've won the league so many times on a consistent basis, and we're still fighting. And I'm really happy where the team are at. Even this start of this year, I think they've come back in a really good space. I just think it's exciting, Tom. I mean, look, you've been in the league a long time. I think you can see that actually it's really competitive. Tottenham are right in there as well, by the way. I know Martin dismissed them being the Champions League, but I'm sure he wouldn't dismiss it if he got the opportunity. So I think there's a real closeness in games, and I don't think it's easy by any means. When I first come in year one to now, I just think it's a totally different challenge now.
Yeah, because I think women's football, the tempo is getting higher.
And can I just follow up on a question that Emma was asking about the transfer window? As you say, it's sort of at the moment looking unlikely that there'll be anyone else coming in. Does that kind of speak to a different preparation for this window? Because like previous windows over the years, often United have seemed to be looking around in the last couple of days, but it seems like you got your stuff done early this year. Like, has that been a deliberate plan? Yeah, absolutely, Tommy. It has, and look, we're evolving as a team. You know, we've got Matt Lee has come in, and you know Harvey was there last year, but we've prepped and we've done our work early. You'll know this, Tom. I think we've always done our work early, but you don't always get them over the line. It just happens, you know. Different things happen. The market is volatile, so. For us to do this with the level of players that we've got, I was really pleased because you can already see them getting up to speed. I think that's really important in the start of a window, so you don't waste the second part of the season. For us, though, I just think that we've had these plans. We've got plans again for the summer, and you know we want to exact them and execute them quickly. And I think if we can do that, then you know it puts us in a good space that starts a window to go and attack that start of the season or the second part of the season. Thanks, Mark. All the best for the weekend. Thank you, mate. Have a great day. Thank you.
We'll go to Connor next.
Good morning, Con. How you doing? I've got a cough, mate. Don't worry. You can hear. Is he catching it over the screen?
Yeah, it's horrendous. So apologies. I'll keep this. There's been a lot of talk online recently about, I guess, rivalries in women's football. Obviously, Liverpool in the men's game for Manchester United, Liverpool is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, for most fans.
Yeah, but in the men's game, you know, the rivalry between Manchester United and Liverpool is absolutely huge. Let's get it right.
I just want to ask in terms of how you see the rivalry with Liverpool, I guess, evolving over the years in women's football.
I mean, technically, they're still rivals, but obviously, you know, it's not so intense rivalry like in the men's game, is it? Even though it's Manchester United women against Liverpool women.
But also how important it is for you to have rivalries in the game as well.
I think it piques interest, doesn't it, Connor? So we need them. I think Liverpool right now, with the transition they're having, they will want to get themselves back to a space where they're the historic team to one of only four. I think it's four that have won the league. So they'll want to get back to those glory days. For me, I think it's really important that right now it's probably not as strong as it is in the men's game, but it will build. The longer we play each other, the more kind of encounters you have, it will build. But I think both teams take it seriously like that. Even though it's men's and women's football separately, it's a slightly different rivalry, but it's a local rivalry. And I think both teams take it that seriously. But to finish on that, I think the reality is, Connor, for interest and driving interest, it's really important we have these head-to-heads and these almost like derby type feel to games to really pique interest for fans.
Brilliant, thank you. I wanted to ask Elizabeth Turner, actually, because she started off the season, ridiculously well, scored a couple of hat-tricks, got a lot of goals, but the goals seem to, I guess, dried up a little bit in kind of the mid part of the season. Obviously got the goal against Aston Villa, the winner against Arsenal recently. Just wanted to ask how you've seen her game evolve over the season, and in training you mentioned a couple of weeks ago about that level improving with the likes of Pangaheim and Schuller coming in as well. Just how you've seen her game evolve and just the levels, I guess, improving in training as well.
Well, Terry always has this ability to finish. I've said this many times, but more than I've ever seen anybody. Like, of all the people I've worked with, she has an incredible finishing ability. The one thing we haven't been able to do, Connor, was in that second part of the season yet last year, was we weren't able to feed Terry in the spaces she likes to score goals, which is, in and around the penalty area. So, we've now got Ellen, we've now got Mal, we've now got Leah who can stretch lines. And all of a sudden now, it allows defenders to now push off, create space. And now we can feed her in really dangerous areas rather than pass it from, say, Maya or Dom, for example. So we're trying to feed her in different ways. Same with Leah Schuller, because she has the ability again in the box to be incredible. So I think it's just the support angles are different and the support. So I think that's a real key into bringing the best out of Terry. And you saw the goal, really.
Big up to you and Juanet. Yes, I am looking forward to the new season, mate. Let's see what happens.
The ball over to Mal. Mal heads it and she reacts quicker than anybody else. And it's a fantastic finish. So I think its supply chain will be the best thing for Terry and Leah going into these next games.
Brilliant, thank you.
Thank you, mate. Have a great day. I hope it goes, mate. You enjoy.
Thanks for that. We had Rachel raise her hand before. Don't know if she's still on.
I just had to jump off for the London City one, but she's just messaged me if I can relay her question.
I'll allow it this once, Emma.
I'm reading it as she's texting it, so
okay.
But she says the depth in the squad, because 4 of the last 6 goals have been scored by subs, and it's been something I know that you've been asked about a lot this season. But are you pleased with the impact of kind of building around the squad and developing that depth?
Can you just reply? Can you just reply to her saying, "Thank you, Mark. Appreciate your message, but unless you ask it of yourself, he's not going to answer it." And have a good day. Yeah, look, I am. I'm really.
Nice sense of humour there.
Happy with the depth. Look, we're going to be challenged again soon, really soon. We go into these really.
See, this is why the women's game press conferences are so much more fun to listen to than the men's.
High-level games, and they're quick. I look at the Chelsea game now for the final, and then we play West Ham midweek. And I think it's a quick turnaround into Everton or something like that. So we have quick turnarounds, and that's why we're going to be tested. Right now, this is the period, Emma, where we've been able to coach a little bit again because you've had a week of practice. But I think that squad depth will be challenged. But I'm looking forward to it because I think the players we've brought in will give us variance and adaptability. So should we keep everybody fit? Hopefully that has been the main difference. But only those challenges will know, and we'll test them and challenge as we come.
Just when you've got that firepower in terms of goals as well, in particular off the bench, when you're sort of turning to those options, does it sort of give you and the team that boost when you know that you can call upon extra goals as well to come onto the pitch?
Absolutely.
When you're facing games?
Absolutely. Yeah, look, we talk a lot about confidence in teams, but there's like a flow you can't see, but it's how you feel. And when you feel that people are going to come on and make a massive impact and really just up your game and encourage more from you, I think you just naturally rise and your standards rise again. You saw it the weekend, first half against Villa, it was tight. And then second half, make a few changes, a few adaptations, and we jump again. But I think that's the competition within the squad as well. That really does help. Chelsea, Man City, Arsenal have had it for years. I think, we're growing to that, and I do see a massive difference. It's both ways, isn't it, Em? Everyone wants to play. You've got to keep them happy. But actually, when they're playing and they're challenging each other and it's going well, you see a real rise in performance from everyone.
That's the end of Mark Skinner's press conference, people. Yeah. See, I like the press conference reactions in the women's game because you don't get so many silly people ask questions. I'm going to send you over to Don C now. He's currently live on his YouTube channel. So make sure you put Mr. Joshy J Raid. I'll be back tomorrow with some more content for you guys. And we're out here. Don't forget, Glaze is out, Ineos out, and brown envelopes in the bin as well. And like I said, make sure you put Mr. Joshy J Raid. Make sure you are subscribing to Don C, people. He would appreciate it a lot. And We're out of here, people. Laters. Bosh.